Okay, so maybe for the few persons that didn't attend the previous session, I will just go a little bit over the first slide, just very quickly. Sorry?
Related?
Just to show what we talked in the previous session. So we discussed actually from a general point of view the different YouTube APIs and what you can do with the APIs. So are you familiar with this? The person that didn't attend? Like, can we just move forward? Because this next part, the next session is going to be a little bit more technical. So if you have your laptops, you can also code at the same time. So do you know what an API is? Okay, then I'll go straight to the second part. Oops. Okay, so my name is Anna. I'm a technical account manager, and I work on YouTube partnerships in Paris. So API is not like really exactly what I do, but I'll try to answer your questions. If I don't know the answer, I will just follow back with you, and I can answer you by email if I don't have the answer. So hopefully that won't be the case. So the agenda for this session is right here. First, we'll have a getting started example so that you understand a little bit how YouTube API works. Then we will have a few requests to analyze the content discovery. So we'll see how you can search videos on the web, how can you can retrieve the feed from some popular videos, like the most viewed or the most recent, the most popular, the most commented, the different types of feeds that you can retrieve using the APIs. We will see how you can search for specific videos. So if you have some keywords that you want to use to find some videos within your website, then this are a few examples that we will take a look at. Next, we will see user authentication, which is a very painful part of the data API. And it's kind of hard to set up, but once it's set up, it works really cool, it's really great. So you can just, well, see this later, but you can just follow the examples on the web, and I'm sure you'll be able to set it up properly. We will also see a few examples of curation. So what can you do while you're authenticated? So as for example, you can list the existing playlist on your account. We will see how to save a video into a playlist. Next, we will see how you can embed a video on your website, like from like the coding perspective. And then I will show you some Google code playground and some demo examples. So getting started. Here you have a few links where you will have some additional information. So data.youtube.com and youtube.com/dev. You have a lot of information about the YouTube APIs and how to use them to get the videos or the feed, the search on your website or application, depending on what you want to code. So now if you have your laptops, you can use the curl or WGET on the command line to get back the information for this query. And there is a really cool trick you can use. It's the parameter prettyprint equals true. And you can use this parameter to any API request to make the output easily readable, because otherwise everything is compiled so that we can use the least possible bandwidth, so we don't format the output unless you actually request it formatted in a nice way. So to understand the output, just use this variable. And also when using the command line tools, just use the /n instead of ant to escape the end. Okay, so do you want to try the example? Shall I let you copy? Or yes? You did already? Okay. Okay, so you don't want to do it. So I will just show you the output. Yeah, because I don't see you on your laptop, so you are saying yes. Yeah, maybe my question was not clear. But yeah, this formatting is not working pretty good for me. I don't know why you cannot see all the writing in the black square. Okay, so this is the query, and this is the example you're getting. So here you can see that by using the pretty print, you have the reply in a very nice formatted way, so you can easily parse the result to get the information that you want to have on your website. So if you don't have the pretty print, like all the content will be just plain characters one after the other, not very easy to read. Okay, so the next example is to how can we tag the videos that are popular on the web. So if you don't have anything specific in mind that you want to represent on your website, but you just want to embed the different types of feed on your website, you can use the. Okay, maybe I'll just switch for the PowerPoint presentation because the PDF presentation, because this is not formatting right. Sorry. Yeah, it's actually the same. I guess the converter didn't work. Okay, well, sorry about that. I mean, it projects right when it's not full screen. Okay, so if you want to see the trending videos on the web, you have a few methods to do so. So you need to use the standard feeds. So the path for the standard feed is feed/API/standard feed/ and then you specify what kind of standard feed you want to display on your website. So here are the standard feeds that you can choose to display. So you can choose, for example, the top rated, the top favorites, the most viewed, the most popular, most recent, most discussed. There are some other parameters, but I didn't list all of them. They are all available in the two websites that I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. So if you are interested in any other types of popular videos on the web, you can go check the other parameters. And also in this query, we're using a max result parameter that will limit the feed to a certain number, because otherwise you will get like a really big answer. So if you want to display only like the top 3 most popular, most rated videos on the web, on YouTube, then you can use the max result equals 3 if you want to limit it to 3. So I used 1 because I want to have 1 result. So here's the I don't have the query so far because I wanted to show you in a demo. I'll just open it. I think it's I used to have an open code in Chrome. I don't seem to have it anymore. That's really weird. Okay, well, we can just copy the query and use it in Chrome. So we can just use the query. Don't forget to remove the anti-slash because this is for the command line. And here is the result that you should have. So here you can see that I have the top 3 most top favorites videos on the web. So Charlie in my Peter, Evolution of Dance, and Adele. So at the moment these are the most popular videos. So if you want, you can do the same examples at the same time with me, and if not, I forgot to mention that for some slides there is going to be a little code, like here. It's further on the other side. So you can type the code is on your URL, and you will have the whole query just typing this code. So if we go back to the training videos. Okay, so if you don't want to have all the training videos on the website, if you want to have any to search for a particular video, then you can use the Q variable, and then you can specify the search terms like you do in Google or YouTube. So the search feed URL is gdata.youtube.com/feed/api/videos, and then you just use the parameter Q to specify the keywords. The parameter V specifies the version of the API. So by default it's version 1, but now we have the version 2 which has more features. So don't forget to specify V equals 2 if you want to use all the additional features. So most of the cases we actually recommend to just use version 2. So just put it in all the queries. That's the best. Okay, so here you have the little code. If you don't want to type the whole query, you can just type this in your browser, and then you'll have the query and then the result. Very cool. Okay, so here I added some other parameters because just typing, looking for the football videos will have like a really, really huge file. It's like really, really big. So probably you need to filter the information that you are requesting. That's why here I lowered the Q parameter to football minus soccer because we don't want the European football, let's say. We want only American football. Don't forget the version equals 2. And then we add some other additional parameters like order by, who will specify the method that will be used to order the videos in the response. So by default it's by relevance, but if you want to have the videos by the view count or the published or the ratings, then you can specify it. Also the fields parameter is very important because it limits the information present in the reply. So as I told you before, like you have a lot of information in the reply. You have like the uploader, the day of the upload, the title, the metadata. You have a lot of information, and you don't want to request it all because you will use all your bandwidth. So you want to be very specific with the information that you want to send you back. So for example, if you only want the author and the title, you can specify in the fields the author and the title. And of course, don't forget the preprint to have the result easy to read. So here is what you should get. And here you can see the 4 little columns because I didn't have enough space to put all the results because we didn't filter by how many requests we want. So the answer was like really, really long. So also as we requested, you can see the title and the author. So here you can see the author and the title as we requested. And the data is probably filtered by view counts, and it's football without soccer. If you type football without soccer on YouTube, you should probably get, and if you filter the results by view count, if you sort the results, then you should probably get these videos at the top. Is anyone using the little the shortcuts? to test the, no? No one brought a laptop?
Not to that.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. I was afraid I had backups for everything. See, I'm not using the examples, I just copy printed everything in my presentation because I didn't know whether or not we're going to have internet. But yeah, sorry. All the presentations will be available on the Saudi Arabia days, I think. So you can probably just test them later if you want to do so. And they are also available on the Google Code pages. So the examples that I'm showing, I didn't create them myself. I just used the ones existing on the Google Code. So let's add some more parameters. Let's continue talking about the different options of filtering the request you are sending to YouTube. So here I added the time parameter equals this week. This will filter only the videos uploaded within the specified time. So you have the possibility to choose among today, this week, this month, and all time. And by default, we take the less restrictive one, it's the all time. So if you want like fresh information, you should let us know that you want specific to have like time equals today or this week or this month. And I also added the start index, which tells you from what the index you want to start us displaying the result. And then, of course, you need to you can let us know where you want us to stop. So, for example, here, in this example, we wanted like the second page of result. Let's say if you have the result by 10, if you want to display only the second page, we don't want the first one, then I select the videos from 11 to 20, because it's like the second page. So the start index is index on one base. So the first video is start index 1. There is no 0, like you are used, I guess, in other programming variables. Okay, so if we go next, I added some other parameter, the safe search. So the safe search filters the restricted video content. So by default, it's actually moderate. It's not as you would expect none, but it's moderate because we want to filter at some degree the result. But if you want with no you want to have all the results with no restriction, then you can specify none. And if you want the content available for children and for, I don't know, for specific, like if you want your content restricted, then you have to specify strict. And for the good developers here, the alt parameter defines the response format. So normally it's like XML, but if you want to have the response in a different format, you can specify, you can add the parameter alt, and then choose between Atom, RSS, JSON in script, and JSON. See? And while using JSON in script, you need to specify the callback and to add the callback parameter, because this parameter will point to the function that we will create for your JSON script. So if we talk a little bit more about the callback, here's, for example, a function that you can easily use in Java, and it will actually display the video results. So here's HTML code. For a simple video search app. So, oops, sorry. So here you have some great Saudi Arabia videos. I will actually use the short code, sorry, to show you on the web. Okay, so So here you can see the result of the function that I just presented. So you can have the thumbnail of the video and the title of the video listed as the result. So we go back to the presentation. This is just like basic HTML. Then here you can see at some point that we are requesting like the out parameter, JSON and script, and callback show video function. So here we'll actually call the function that I showed you in the previous slide. So now we should probably start talking about serious things. So like user authentication, because if you want, like search is pretty awesome, but you probably want to do a lot of other cool stuff with your API. And if you want to do actions, to perform actions that are related to a user account, you need to first make sure that the user is authenticated. So in order to do so, we have several methods. So how many of you are familiar with OAuth? Open authentication? None of you? Okay, so this is like an open source authentication method, and like there are two versions, and we actually recommend you to use the version 2 because it's like more. Sorry. Yeah, but this is like an open source, so it's not like the version 2 of the API, which is created like by Google, YouTube. So like the additional features are on our side, but for the auth, it's just like more safe and easier to implement. So there is also, we also support the auth version 1. The auth sub is an authentication system created by Google, but which we don't really recommend you to use because we want everyone to use like auth. And the file login is another authentication method that is deprecated because it was actually more for application that you have to install on your desktop. So auth is mostly, like version 2 will probably cover all of them. So if you don't have already an application that is using one of the other methods, if you are just starting, just better start with the version 2. Instead of like migrating. If you're using the other ones, we strongly recommend you to migrate to the auth version 2. So if you want to read more about the different user authentication, there is a web page on the developers.qouql.com, and it's very well detailed. You have the different schemes of how authentication works, like how when the user is trying to authenticate, there is the Google page that will actually open. And then if the user authenticates, then we will send the token back, and the application, your application, will use the token to authenticate the user. So your application will actually never store the credential for the user, because we don't we want to keep that confidential for as confidential information. Okay, so yeah, here's a little bit more about the auth version 2. So in order to be able to use it, you need to register your application with Google. But by registering your application with Google, you will actually get a lot more useful information about your application. So for example, you will be able to get a lot of statistics about who is using your application and like where, and a lot of like really cool stuff. Actually, we definitely strongly recommend you to register your application with Google apps. Then when you register your application, it will redirect the user to Google account for authorization, as I told you. Get the user's permission, so when the user will log in, we'll insert the username and then the password. The Google account will redirect back either errors or success, so we'll send back to your application a token, and then you can use the token to authenticate whenever any other authentication is requested. So here is an interface how this looks actually. So if you want to register your application with Google, you need to go to this website code.google.com/API/console, and here you will see you will be able to create an account and register your application. So once you have an application, you can create the authentication client, and then in your app, the user will always be redirected to Google account for authorization. So like in your app, you will never have to handle the actual username check and password check. So here is an example of the query using the authentication. So here you can really see that on the last row you have the response type as a token. So when you're trying to authenticate, you will get a token. And if the authentication is successful, then you will get this message and you will receive the token back. So here is basically you are sending to Google a request for authentication or to authenticate the user, and then you will receive this as a success. And if the user didn't write the right information, then you will get like an error. So most likely like access denied. Okay, so here is an example where you can use the token in any operation that requires authentication. So for example, let's say you want to look for a video. Actually, I'm not sure why you would like to look for a video and be authenticated, but okay, that's an example I just took online. But if you would like to be authenticated and look for a video, then you will probably do this. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about other features that you can use while the user is authenticated. So you can allow the user to upload videos because you know already the information, everything you need to know about his account. So you have the right to upload videos to his account. So for those who came into the previous session, we saw like some demos where you can see how users are uploading videos using your web page, let's say, your website, instead of YouTube website. The user can also, you can also rate the videos for the user that is authenticated. You can look the different information about the user channel. So for example, you can pull out the different playlists he has. You can add the video to a playlist. You can comment to different videos as being authenticated as a user. You can type video in response to other videos. You can manage favorites, manage subscription, manage friend contacts, and friend activity notification. So you can basically manage everything. There is like everything you can do within your YouTube account. You can also do with the API. So depending on like what you're planning, on your ideas, like what kind of application you want to have or website, you can like use some of these features. So you can also go like to the different like links I have here, like the shortcut, and you will have more information about like the different operations and how you can actually perform them, like what kind of queries you need to send in order to get the information. So for each query, you have like all the different parameters. It's very well documented actually, the website. I will show you in a second. Okay, so here for example, I took an example on how to retrieve the playlist of a user that is already authenticated. So here you can see that I'm providing the token for the authentication. Like I'm not using any username or password. And here, if you use the default parameter for the users, it's the parameter that indicates that you want the information for the user who's already logged in, so authenticated. So if you want someone else, then you would have to provide their username here. And here is the information, like how the result would look. So here we requested the playlist, and we would wanted the ID of the playlist and the title of the playlist. So you probably know that in your account you can create playlists and then you can give them a name, and there is automatically an ID that is associated with the playlist. So here we requested to have this information, and you can see that in the response you have the ID, and here you have the title of the playlist as well. So here, this user who is authenticated here has the playlist. Okay, so if a user wants to save a video to a playlist, then he needs to do a post. And there are other parameters like put and delete. So put is for to modify the data. So for example, if you want to change the title of a video, you could probably use put. And if you want to delete the playlist or delete a video from your account, you should use delete. And this is the code for saving a video to a playlist. And here is the result that you should get. So you should see the authentication token that we are keeping, the ID of the playlist in the red, and the video ID that we want to add to the playlist. So here in the response you can see that I actually mistyped the
I think just if you can change the color of the black box, because it's written there.
Oh, you can't read, sorry.
Okay. See, change the page color.
Okay, well, sorry, I mean, it looks good in the, like, it's the proper size, like in my presentation when I created it, but it's just like when I go full screen, I don't know why it just doesn't convert it right. Okay, so we don't need this, we're here. So. Okay, all the slides will be available, so you can, I will just make sure that they are properly displayed, and then I will resubmit them so you can actually take a look and test them for yourself. So here, yeah, I was saying that I made a mistake actually when I copied the ID, because as you can see, I didn't take the 5474D, but I took the other one. So it's actually a mistake, just mistyped it. But normally here you should have the D700 like here, and here's the title of the playlist. And the 200 created is the response for the video that you uploaded. Yeah. So if we talk a little bit more about embedding videos on your website, so there are several ways to embed a video. We saw earlier that you can use the player API to embed the video with the different controls that YouTube has, or you can customize it and remove all the controls and just add your own buttons if you don't like the design of YouTube buttons, or if it doesn't fit your application or website. So yeah, we're supporting like the Flash API, JavaScript API, and iframe API, but as I told you before, like we're really trying to encourage everyone to use the iframe because it handles a lot of browser issues, because you never know like the person who is watching your website, like what kind of information they have. So like with iframe, it handles for you, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, and also like if you use the iframe API, your videos will be available on mobile devices, which is not the case for the other two. Yeah, like you would have to worry more about the Flash API and JavaScript API, like how to use those ones to have them available on the web. Okay, so this is a cool website I will show you in a second. It's Google Code Playground. So here you can actually test all the Google APIs, not only YouTube. And I'll show you actually directly. So here you have like all the Google APIs, and if you want to, to test to play with the different APIs, I will show you the YouTube ones. So you have only the ones related to the player. Simply back here you have the code that you use for teaching them. But once again, like I guess this needs to be updated because it doesn't use the iframe, and we really encourage you to actually go through the iframe. But just to give you the example, like here you have the embedding and you have the buttons that are properly working.
Hi, in this video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what you can do with the YouTube APIs. First of all,
So you can actually change things around here, and then you can run the code, and then you will see the changes happening here. So if we go to the next one, it's how you can change the size of your. It's actually here to help you create your request, your functions, and make everything you need to use it on your website. So you can actually use this code and just make it look nicer or more accordingly to your website. So here you have 3 buttons. You have three functions: make the player small, make the player normal, and make the player big. And if you actually click on these buttons, I will show you in a second. Yeah, you can see that the player is changing depending on the size you choose, and you can also customize it, so you can change the size here and then rerun the code, and then you'll have a customized size. So here's how you can get information about the video, about the state of the player on your website, because sometimes you might want to use it, for example, when you play a video, and when the video ends, you need to get a trigger to something that you want to do. Let's say, I don't know what, you need to be creative, so you need to have good ideas to how to bring something new. But we are showing you all the tools we offer you to do so. So, for example, here, if I play the video, you will see that the player state is changing.
in this video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what
And here the current time is changing, the duration, the bytes that are loaded, the ones
you can do with the YouTube APIs.
So if I pause, note that the player state is changing from 1 to 2.
First of all, we all know what YouTube is, right?
Okay, so I think this is just to show you the state. How you can change the video that is playing. So, for example, if you have, 10 favorite videos that you have and you want to put them in a playlist, where the user can check one, you can, let's say, me check that was fun actually. Okay, let's see what's happened. I didn't see this one, but it looks like it's funny. Nothing is happening actually. Okay, maybe we should have chosen the YouTube API overview. It's more interactive. So yeah, so here you should probably see somewhere that is a drop down that is created. There is something from somewhere, but I don't know from where. Yeah, so I'm not sure, I don't see it right now, but I'm sure there is the drop down created, so depending on the entry that you select, there's a video that will be embedded. So that's pretty cool. Here you have another example on how you can work with multiple players. So you actually you have to create different variables to identify the players. So I think this example is to show that when a video plays.
Hi, in this video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what you can do with the YouTube APIs. First of all, we all know what YouTube is, right? Millions of videos uploaded from all.
Sorry?
View multiple frames in the same page.
Multiple videos. So these are actually multiple embeds. So you create you have to identify them, and then like when you want to operate, like how you can take the So here how you can pull the data of the player. So for example, if I will play this one, the player will change one. So you can see that the associated data is with this video, and here is with this video. So like if you need to work with multiple players, like here you will have like the example on how to do so. So like probably you will just create a variable for the player. So if you want to know how you create that, just go through the example. So I mean, we don't have like a lot of time. I don't want to go like through all the examples, but you can, like this is publicly available. You can just go to code.google.com/apis/ajax/playground, and you will have all these examples for yourself. So like also there is the commas there, but here once again I believe it's not the iframe, which is not that awesome. Yeah, it's the. Anyway, like here you can just have the player with no buttons, and then you can just
In this video,
pause or play and mute or set the volume to like set and
first
low.
of all, we all know what YouTube is, right?
So I mean, these are examples to show you the code on like some things. And if you want to change them, you can actually change them here, and then you can run the code, or you can debug the code to see why it's not running. So it's pretty cool, and you can actually have all the APIs. You don't have to limit yourself only to YouTube APIs. I've seen like one application somewhere, I don't remember actually where. I really wanted to put it as an example, but I couldn't find it. It was a video and a map, so like both APIs. Video was embedded on the website, and the map API was also embedded on the website. And like the guy was filming, like I don't know, like he was driving, and you could see on the map actually his road. Yeah, so like also when you would scroll through the video, you would get like the point on the map moving around. So this was like pretty cool, but I couldn't find the example actually. But I mean, there are so many ideas. Like Google has so many products, and like it's just a pity that you don't know about like all the different features that we offer, and like we work hard to try to satisfy all your requests. So yeah, you should go ahead and test them, and then try to create something like really amazing. So there was another slide, like the last slide from my presentation. Yep, there is a demo. So this is like an application. So I will show you the code if you want. Yeah, so actually if you execute this code, you will get like something. Well, you won't get actually exactly the same, but based on this code with some additional features, you will have. Sorry, I'm lost in my pages. I had too many sessions, so I organized my browsers through the sessions, but I think I got lost on point. So here, like, there is an example of like how you can log in, and then you can retrieve videos, or you can just like say, I want the Saudi Arabia videos. And I've never been here, so I want to learn more about Saudi Arabia. So here it's like the results, but like here you cannot watch them. If you log in, there is an error. actually retrieve different data about your account. So it's pretty cool. Doesn't seem to work, but so here I have like the two websites I pointed at the beginning of the session. So they're like the YouTube APIs are really well documented. So if you need to find some specific information about something, some parameters, you'll most likely find them here. So also depending on your programming language you're using, you can find different advice and getting started guides. So for example, if you use Java. So you have you have all the requirements, like what kind of libraries you need to have it set it up properly to use the APIs. So you just go through the different steps, and you'll most likely be good to go after you read a little bit through the documentation. Also on this webpage there is an interactive way of building the queries. So for example, if you don't want to build them fully, if you don't want to look for the parameters, you can just look for an approximate query that you want to have. So for example, if you want to query the videos that stay within this query, then you can choose, okay, I want the comedy category. It's a user-friendly, interactive way of building the query. So I want, let's say, 5 results. I want videos for Saudi Arabia. If you want to give the location and the language, other different parameters that we didn't really talk, or we talk about search. Let's say that you don't want any filtering, you want all the results. And here you can see that the query that got created for you, so it's the URL that you need to query to get the result. So it's pretty interactive and it's very easy if you're not very techy and you still want to use the API features and functionality. So do you have any questions? Yes?
Is it possible to get my website users to play HTTP by default? They don't need to change their policy.
I think you can force the parameter, the quality parameter by default to be HD, but I'm not sure this is what you really want to do, because if your user is in a country, the visitor of your web page is in a country where he doesn't have a high-speed connection, they're forcing him to watch the video in HD and not giving him the possibility to choose. Sorry? Yeah, and he will have to load to load the video for a whole night to watch it in the morning. So I'm sure you can find the parameter to force the quality in high quality. And also you need to make sure that the video is available in HD as well, because not all videos are available in HD on YouTube. Depending on the quality of the video that the uploader is providing, we can lower the quality, but we cannot improve the quality. So for example, if I'm shooting a video and I'm uploading it to YouTube, if I'm shooting the video in HD quality, then on YouTube it will be available on all different quality formats till HD. But if I'm just filming with my cell phone, it's probably not HD and it's not going to be available in HD. So just forcing people to watch HD will create a lot more problems for you. Yeah, you can make it default lower quality, but usually the YouTube player handles no, it actually detects the quality more adjusted for your browser and country, so connection. So depending on where you are, it will adjust the quality and you'll see more or less quality. Yes?
About user channel.
Yes?
Is it about a set of a list of videos and rate whatever user you want to see?
So there are a lot of actions that you cannot do on YouTube unless you are authenticated. So if you go to YouTube and try to like or dislike a video or rate or comment, you cannot do this unless you are authenticated, because we need to know who commented or who rated the video. So that's why using the API is the same with the YouTube web version of the account. you need to be authenticated in order to create videos.
No, not really.
Sorry?
It's about user channel.
Yes?
Yeah.
So maybe I didn't get your question. Can you?
Can I set a list of videos and they can watch it seriously?
Yes. Yes. You can create a playlist in your account, and then you can choose whether or not you want the playlist to be public. It's just like the videos. So when you upload a video to your YouTube account, you can choose between public, unlisted, and private. So public is available for everyone, and if people will search using the title that you provided and the author and
Title
of the video,
the video.
of the title that you are actually specifying, the metadata that you are providing, not the actual MP3 file that you MP4, sorry,
No,
MPEG or
what
whatever.
I mean, can the player set a list of videos
Yes.
as a list?
Yes. So like if you add the videos in a playlist, and then like using certain like I can show you an example. If you use youtube.com and then let's query. It's very slow. So let's say you want Lady Gaga. I'm sorry, I don't know a lot of Saudi Arabian artists. Otherwise, I would have. So here you can see there is a playlist. So if your playlist is publicly available for everyone, and someone is looking for, and let's say your playlist is called Lady Gaga, and there are, I don't know, 5 billion of people who watched it, it's probably relevant enough, and it will appear here. Yeah, it's like this is like a search, strategy. But like, if you have the ID of the playlist, you can also look for the place. So like, you can just play all, and I will show you in the URL. Yeah, so here you can see that it's the playlist. So you can move to the next video, and you are still in the same playlist. And also, like in the URL, at some point here, you have the ID of the playlist. So when we queried in the example I showed you for the API, to identify the playlist, we had the name and the ID for so like the ID is the one that is displayed in the URL. And also like the video ID is always the one displayed in the URL. So there are actually quite a few tricks that you can learn, but like you need to play a little bit with the codes and the examples. But I mean, you can do a lot of amazing things, yeah.
Is it the same for the categories? Like, there's multiple categories for education, general art. Is every single category has an ID?
What do you mean by category?
Categories, for example, education videos.
These are not playlists, so these are actually, like if I will...
Yeah, must be the same. There's an ID for each category. Or how do you organize it?
There is like there is a parameter category, so I'm not sure if I will be able to find it, but there is a parameter category and you can specify what kind of videos you want. So in the example I showed you with the player, I'm not sure exactly where it was. Like here, you can choose the category. Yeah, actually I will show you right away.
I'm talking about the code part.
Sorry?
I'm talking about the code part. I mean, to get it by the code of the command line.
Yeah, so like like here is like the nice interface where you can easily find the parameters if you don't want to search for the parameters. But there is like a category parameter and you can specify what kind of videos you want. So here, like, as you can see, you can specify and then no, it didn't take into account the change I made. Okay, maybe this is not perfectly working. Okay, let's try one more time. So let's try entertainment. like, I mean, you can definitely find the picture tool. Categories for uploaded videos. So here you can use the different category to filter the search to identify only the videos in the category you are interested in. So I mean, there are a lot of parameters, I don't know all of them, but if you go to the developers at Google.com, you'll definitely find like everything you need. So just check out this website. It's like really cool, and it's really like easy to start developing. Because I mean, I don't use APIs for my day-to-day job, but like just to have this presentation, I was able to do all the examples and everything. I don't know, like in half a day, even less. So do you have any other interesting questions? No? Okay, well, then I think I'm done.